Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
Folks, I had to make an executive decision today. You know, I really love the weekend updates. Why? Because I like to bond with you guys. I like you to know a little bit about me. But the show's not about me. It's about politics. So I only do it on Monday. I'm going to keep the weekend update short because in case you've been living under a rock somewhere, which the Bongino listeners definitely have not been, you know that this was one of the craziest news weekends ever. And I'm going to tell you something. For the first time in a really, really long time, and I think the production crew here can agree, we're having a hard time fitting in 4 hours between the radio and podcast what to put in the show. I got a ton to get to. Mexico, update on the tariffs. Something happened in Somalia this weekend. The FAFO presidency. Let's get right to it. I count on Beam's Dream Powder. Help me wind down, wake up, energize. It's made right here in America. Go to shopbeam.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino for 47% off your first order. Get a good night's sleep. Today's show also brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Well, we may have won the election. The fight to restore our great nation's only beginning. Now's the time not only to take a stand, but take a stand with the right companies, and Patriot Mobile is leading the charge. They're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Patriot Mobile offers a way to vote with your wallet without compromising on quality or convenience. Patriot Mobile just isn't about exceptional cell phone service alone. It's a call to action to defend our rights and our freedoms. With Patriot Mobile, you get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all three major networks. You have cell phone service today, you can get cell phone service with Patriot Mobile with a coverage guarantee. But the difference is this. Every dollar you spend with Patriot Mobile supports a company that believes in the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, our veterans, and our first responders. Switching's easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their 100% U.S.-based customer support team will help you find the perfect plan. So right now, switch to Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month of service with promo code Dan. Switch to Patriot Mobile today and defend freedom with every call and text you make. Visit patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. All right, fellas, let's go. Very quick weekend update because I really don't have time. Folks, the health and fitness segment I did on the radio show on Friday in my last hour, I cannot believe the feedback we got. It was like nothing I've ever done before. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys on this. You can vote in the chat right now. Why for yes, good idea, and for no, terrible idea. But I'm thinking of adding, because I don't want to take away from, the show is a political show, okay? I'm not going to take away every week. But I'm thinking of adding on the podcast, maybe a bi-weekly or a monthly hour-long segment with fitness and health people where we can go into some of the life hacks I talked about, because the feedback I got about it was crazy. How does that factor in to the weekend update? Excuse me. Still actually getting over that thing, but feel great, by the way. I did a 72-hour fast this weekend, so I did 3 straight days with no food. I worked. Listen, by the way, seriously, definitely, if you're planning on doing this, you better check with your doctor first. If you have low blood sugar or pre-diabetes, this is probably not for you. However, I do it about twice a year. It was really difficult. This is the worst one I've ever done. I think it's because I didn't have a lot of caffeine. Usually I have black coffee or green tea, obviously no sugar in it or any like honey or anything like that. So I did 3 days because I'm terrified of getting cancer again, not to be a weirdo about it, and this autophagy kicks in after about 48 to 72 hours where your body starts to eat up old misfolded proteins and damaged cells. And I'm going to tell you something. I ate this morning for the first time in 3 days. And man, I feel like $1 million. So just throwing that out there. If I sound a little wired today, it's probably because my brain is operating on glucose for the first time in 3 days rather than ketones. And I have been intensely focused all morning. All right. So enough of that. Nothing else happened this weekend because I was fasting, so I didn't want to go out. So no partying, no nothing. Folks, the Mexico thing is insane. I'm going to get to that. Trump is, I don't know how many times I have to explain this to people. Please get it through your heads, left-wing lunatics. We don't understand Trump. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The guy is transactional. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. He is not going to get into the emotions of this. We're imposing tariffs or you're going to fix this. That's the equation. He doesn't care about how people feel about it, what the media says. All of a sudden, a call in Mexico happens this morning. Oh, look, we're going to help you fix the border. Oh, okay. We'll get to that. But I got a couple other things to get through because the left-wing media is still in shell shock over what happened. And I told you there was going to be this period here of disarray and internal Democrat chaos. That obviously includes the media, Axios as well. They're all part of the same party, right? They still don't know what happened after this election. That is why it is an imperative right now that we get the right people in there and we move quickly and break stuff. Break stuff that's broken. That way we can fix it. The broken stuff needs to be really broken. That way we can fix it. We've got to move fast. The Democrats still don't know what's going on. I read this weekend in Axios by Mike Allen, and seriously, I was not sure initially if this was sarcasm or not. This is obviously a left-wing outlet. They note reality check, talking about how Trump they think is breaking norms. Democrats have a religious devotion to norms and institutions that Republicans don't share. Bro, is this freaking real? Mike Allen, is this real? It's a unique feature of Trumpism to despise the deep state mainstream media and checks on executive power. Dude, what the are you talking about? Democrats have a religious devotion to norms and institutions. Is this freaking real, dude? You talking about the Mar-a-Lago raid? Wait, what? That's a norm? Michael, how many times have we raided an ex-president's home and his wife's underwear drawer? Do you know? He's going to say as a math major 0. He's like, I think it's the concept of absolute zero, the absence of value, like it never happened. Hey, Mike, bro, what the are you talking about, bro? The Mar-a-Lago raid never happened. Multiple impeachments on fake made-up crimes like a fake insurrection and a fake quid pro quo deal in Ukraine, even though he released a transcript of the call. When does that happen? How many presidents, Michael, do you know that have been impeached twice over fake crimes? Just throw it out there. He's going to say same number, which is no number, which is 0. It is the absence of actual numerical value. 0. I'll throw another one at it. A Spygate, collusion hoax. How many fake international near World War III type scenarios were started over a fake collusion hoax with a nuclear-powered enemy by Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton, the Democrat machine? The answer is freaking 0. Mike, wake up, bro. I know your Axios outlet pretends to be kind of center left. This is crazy shit, dude. Democrats have a religious devotion to norms. I sincerely, and I mean this, because I actually like reading Axios, even though it's turning more and more communist by the day. You should seriously revise this or get in a new line of work. Freaking embarrassing. Reality check. Bro, talk about a reality check. Also, I saw this war clandestine tweet this morning about USAID. Folks, I put it after this because this is happening right now. You know, we're 2 weeks into the Trump administration. USAID is already being purged. USAID, we have done extensive, leave this up for a second. We have done extensive segments with Mike Benz, Deep State Mike Benz, who dissects the deep state all the time. He's the best guy at it. USAID is not an aid organization. It is a U.S. government entity that provides a slush fund for every single deep state censorship mission around the world you've probably ever heard of. You know, it's happening. USAID's being purged. Elon's openly pointing out that USAID had a role producing bioweapons like COVID-19 and kill millions. He says, ladies and gentlemen, I think we did it. I think it's actually happening. If we continue on this trajectory, deep state oligarchs and NGOs will be directly implicated in crimes against humanity, and the world will demand justice. The right people are in control of government, and they know where the bodies are buried. I don't know this person, but I've never heard anything more accurate. Folks, contrasts. Contrasts are powerful. Sound bites are powerful. Snapshots are powerful. The right people are in charge. The dissecting the deep state machine is happening right now, and the contrast being created between deep state Biden and Obama and this Trump sandwich we had in between are now absolutely priceless. There is so much good stuff happening this weekend. I had a hard time cramming it at the beginning of the show so you didn't miss anything. You may, in the volume of information, drinking from an open fire hydrant, you may have missed this. Donald Trump on True Social. This was this weekend. This morning, I ordered precision military airstrikes on senior ISIS attack planners in Somalia. These killers were hiding in caves, threatening the U.S. and our allies. He notes at the end, we will find you and we will kill you. Where is it? Where, folks? I can't take it. Michael can't take it either. I can't. Maybe the people's elbow. You got to adjust it. Yeah, just. I can't take the winning anymore. I can't take it. We still have not broken the Rock'em Sock'em robots. Amazingly. Although the Trump face on the Rock'em Sock'em robots is green. I can't take the winning anymore. Folks, my blood pressure can't handle all this winning. I can't handle it. Michael can't handle it. Justin's walking out of the room. He's like, I'm 10 minutes in. No more winning. No more winning today. We don't have enough time in the show to cover all this winning. Poor guys come in. We have these thing called floaters. I do a rundown the night before. And then between last night and this morning, I throw more elements in the show. They're called floaters because they're not in the rundown voicemail I leave. Why do you guys care? I'm just telling you. So in the morning, there's like 100 floaters because it's all winning. Michael's like, I'm sick of the winning. No more floaters. Can we do a winning hiatus? No, we can't. No, we cannot. We will not do a winning hiatus. There will be no hiatus of winning. None. Now, I mentioned contrast. You think I just randomly threw that in there? Because obviously I'm kidding. I love the winning. Keep the winning coming. I don't care if really, it is irrelevant if we cover all the winning in my show. It is. If there's so much winning we can't cover it, fine. We'll cover it on social media later. We'll make it. We'll do a special, a winning special. But contrasts matter, folks. And seriously, you got Trump whacking a bunch of ISIS terrorists saying, yeah, we'll kill you if you F with us again. You've got the Democrats who still think they're religiously devoted to norms and institutions. That was funny. You got a censorship organization in USAID. That's a front group for the deep state getting pretty much wiped out. Mexico basically folds this morning. And what are the Democrats doing? What, Trump's kicking everybody's ass? Rock'em sock'em robot style? What are the Democrats doing? One of these days, these things are going to explode. Although they're pretty hard plastic. I'm not sure. They're pretty robust. The Democrats chose a new party leader at their convention this weekend. They picked Ken Martin from Minnesota. But they have to pick all the officers for the National Democratic Committee there. And a little fight broke out. This is real, by the way. I'm not kidding. Republicans winning. Here are the Democrats arguing over if they... It's real. I'm not shitting you, man. If they met the quotas for enough non-binary candidates on the ballot, so they had to move everything around. This is classic. Here's the Democrats versus the Republicans. Check this out.
Rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules.
Folks, I swear to you, I just said to the boys here, I was going to cut this thing off early, and I thought, no, let's enjoy and savor every second of that. So I let the thing play out. L. Chumley in the chat says, I hope the Dems keep this shit up. Please bring Kamala to run again. Yes, L. Chumley, comment of the day. And thank you, what is it, Red Pill Media for rating the stream. And I saw 1776 earlier. You guys are great. Appreciate the stream raids on Rumble. I'm going to have to raid a stream one day. That'd be crazy, right? Blow up your whole thing. Imagine that. We raid someone's stream with like 180,000 people or something coming in. Folks, I want to play. That is the Democrat Party. Do you understand they learn nothing? There's a reason I put the show in the order I did. It tells a consistent narrative in the beginning opening chapter of the show. Mike Allen from Axios actually believes that the Democrats are loyal to norms and institutions, despite no evidence that's absolutely, they've learned the truth. They've learned nothing from the election. And the Democrat leadership is now obsessed with G, J, Zhao, Zhou, LGBTQIA, BIOPC, 2+9 binary, spiritual. This is all they care about. Nothing Trump is actually doing they care about or have contributed to. This is their entire agenda, is identity politics and media people lying to America. That's it. They've learned nothing. They'll listen to me. They will unscrew themselves. I promise you. But it's not going to be anytime soon. We've got 2 years. We've got 4 years. No, we don't. Two. We've got 2. The midterms are in 2 years. You start thinking we got 4 years, you're going to get screwed. I'm sitting on my earpiece here. Okay. Now, I want the contrasts matter. There's a lot of FAFOing going on too. The FAing has already happened. The effing around. The finding out part is happening now. Folks, Donald Trump is not kidding. I hate to keep saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it sounds self-celebratory, but I promise you, I do not, you have my word, I don't mean it that way. I said during the election when people during the primary were telling me, pick Nikki Haley. You like Nikki Haley? Fine. I'm great. Do your own thing. I didn't. I endorsed Donald Trump early. Proud of my decision to do that. I've been with him from the beginning. But I did it for a reason. Everybody's telling me he's going to be a lame duck. I said, you guys don't understand, number one, what a lame duck means. A lame duck implies he has no power. Donald Trump's greatest power is that he can't run again and already knows what to do because he understands the FAing and everyone else is going to FO. Now you're seeing it right now. The Washington Post is so flipped out about what Donald Trump is doing that now they're calling for mercy. He's laughing. This is an actual headline. Washington Post, Colbert I. King. The mercy that's missing from the White House. You want mercy now? There's no mercy. We're not the mercy. Folks, this is people's elbows. There's no mercy time. Now, I want to be clear. I would never, ever, ever recommend to anyone, because I'm an actual constitutionalist, that anyone violate the Constitution or their own morality while they're in office to do things. You don't do that. That is a dispositive period, full stop statement, okay? However, using the levers of government to right a wrong that happened to America under the Donald Trump 4-year out of office period where he was ruthlessly targeted by a corrupt government, that is the government's job. Mercy. This is a tactical matter. Tactical, what do you mean? If the left that weaponized government in violation of what I believe the law and the Constitution is not taught a lesson by a judicial system that is designed to teach lessons. You rob someone, the lessons are you go to jail. If you guys broke the law, which I believe you did, if we investigate and find nothing, we find nothing. But I believe there's a lot there. And if we don't do anything about it, you will have learned nothing. Mercy my ass. Absolutely nobody showed mercy for the hard left targeting Donald Trump. You guys loved you salivated over it. Now you're going to see what that's like. I'm not about retribution. I'm about justice. Those are two different things. Those are not the same thing. Now, I want to get to the important matter that just happened this morning. I'm going to take a quick break, but folks, how many freaking times we got to go over this with the tariffs thing and elsewhere? Not you guys, but to the media dipshits who do not understand Donald Trump. I am trying to help you. This is the most popular MAGA show anywhere. Live stream, AOD, VOD, we rule, OTT, Rumble, we kick ass. You want to understand the MAGA space, come here. You don't? Go watch another show. Donald Trump is a spreadsheet guy, period. You keep appealing to his emotional stuff. Don't do tariffs? That's mean. Really? It's mean? You know what's mean? Drugs crossing our border, tariffs on our products, taking advantage of our military support as a member of NATO and not doing your own job. That's what's freaking mean. He's a spreadsheet guy. How many times I got to tell you this? You appeal to his emotion, you will lose. He is not emotional about it. He sees problems as a spreadsheet. Wake up. Show you what I mean in a second. We're going to go through this whole tariffs thing, what it means, what it doesn't mean. Again, we're going to be honest about tariffs. They are taxes. Anyone telling you otherwise is lying. However, there's a plus and a minus to this if used the right way, and you're going to see what happens. Hey, let's talk about one of the biggest scandals in modern history, inflation. When inflation rises, the cost of everything skyrockets. But what's the truth? Is it just bad luck or poor planning? Policy decisions are being made, many coming from the Federal Reserve. That's why you need to check out Playing with Fire, Money, Banking, and the Federal Reserve, an absolutely powerful new documentary from the Mises Institute. This film examines how the Fed's reckless policies have driven up inflation, crushed savings, and enriched the elites, all while leaving ordinary Americans struggling. It is very powerful and worth your time. The Mises Institute has warned about the dangers of the Fed for decades, predicting both the 2008 financial crisis before it happened and skyrocketing inflation we're all feeling right now and today. The film gives you a perspective the elites don't want you to hear. When you visit Mises.org/Bongino, mises.org/Bongino by May 31st, 2025, sign up to get a free copy of What Has Government Done to Our Money? It is an essential guide to understanding how government manipulation of money could be eroding your freedom and wealth. It's powerful stuff. Don't wait. Head to Mises.org, Mises.org/Bongino, Mises.org/Bongino right now. Watch the documentary, and if you visit by May 31st, sign up to claim your free book while supplies last. That's Mises.org/Bongino, Mises.org/Bongino. Watch. You want to understand inflation? Watch it. You'll see exactly what I mean. All right, back to the show. Folks, I've been candid about about tariffs for a long time. And unlike leftists in the media who will lie to you and say, Democrats love norms and institute. Yeah, sure, bro. Okay. I don't change my mind on things. Tariffs are taxes. They are basically taxes on, very simply, taxes on goods that are imported into the United States. Canada imports, say, wheat into the United States, and there's a 10% tariff. That tax is added on to that import value, which will make Canadian wheat more expensive. Now, obviously, Canadian, say, wheat producers or milk producers, I bring up dairy for a reason. Canada tariffs are dairy heavily, right? Obviously, the producers don't want this. They want to sell into the United States. So if their wheat is 10% more expensive, people aren't going to buy wheat from Canada. They'll buy it from the United States. Now, what winds up happening there? There are some countries who produce things cheaper. There are things, we don't want to produce cheaper. I'm giving you the straight skinny. Rubber dog toys are not a thing we're really prioritized in making in the United States. Our people are the smartest workforce in the world. We want to build cars. We want to build AI. We want to build software. We want to build jet engines. We want to build high value added stuff because rubber dog toys, there are small margins. People who work in a rubber dog toy business don't make a lot. People who make jet engines do. So we want to make good stuff. However, a lot of stuff has been outsourced out of the United States over the years because other countries tariff our stuff, making it more expensive to import into their country. So people move production out of our country. Donald Trump, as you can see from his Truth Social post, said this weekend, I'm not kidding about these tariffs on Mexico and Canada. He said, you basically have till this week, I'm going to impose a 25% tariff almost across the board outside of energy on Canada. Now, folks, I've told you many times, if Donald Trump is doing this tactically to combat Canadian tariffs and drug running from both the northern and southern border into the United States and can get Canada to move, this is transactional Trump winning. Cue up the Schumer one first. All the Democrats right now, by the way, attacking Donald Trump on this tariff plan seem to have a different perspective a long time ago. Hat tip the great Maze Moore, Mazemoor on X. Here's Chuck Schumer, Democrat leader in the Senate, back in 2018 on tariffs, which sounds exactly like the Donald Trump position today. And now all of a sudden they're taking the opposite position. Why? Because unlike me, they're phonies and fakes and will lick their finger and see which way the wind is blowing. Check this out.
Look, I think the president's doing the right thing. China has been taking advantage of us for two decades. They're stealing our intellectual property, which means stealing our good-paying jobs. And I, frankly, am closer on this issue, not on many, but on this issue with President Trump than I was with Presidents Bush or Obama, because they did nothing to tell China off. Now, China, of course, will respond. But if they know we're strong and we're not going to back off, they will back off. They have far more to lose than we do. They have a $300 billion trade surplus with us. I'm looking out, number one, for jobs. You know, if General Electric moves jobs to China, they're not unhappy, but my New York workers in Schenectady are unhappy. And so you can't let the international business companies who don't give a hoot about where their factories are govern this. You have to do what's good for the American worker.
All I'm asking, folks, is for some intellectual consistency on this. Schumer and the Democrats are taking the exact opposite position now. Tariffs can be a valuable negotiating tool, but they are a tax. It's okay to be candid about what you're doing. You are taxing a foreign product imported into the United States in order to either incentivize production of said value-added product in the United States, or you are doing it as a negotiating tool to say, we are going to tariff you until you stop tariffing us. Look up Canada's tariffs on the United States, folks. On some products, they're significant. So for all the people out there pretending that, oh, this is retribution. Retribution for what? It's retribution, if anything. And by the way, the citizens of Canada, this has nothing to do with you. The Canadian economy is struggling because you've got terrible leadership in Trudeau and other people. But here's going to be the next prime minister, who, by the way, is all in on re-tariffing back. So Poilievre, who I like, but I think he has to be a little bit candid here about what's going on. Here's Poilievre, who's going to be the next leader of Canada. Well, these guys way ahead of the polls. Here he is a little while ago talking about Canada. By the way, that Schumer segment was about China, I understand, but the same exact argument applies. Here's Poilievre talking about the fentanyl problem, tariffs, and other things. Again, appeared to agree with Trump before he disagreed with Trump. Check this out.
Results are in on the Prime Minister's radical liberalization of hard drugs. He teamed up with the BC NDP to decriminalize fentanyl, crack, and heroin. He lowered jail sentences for mass producers of deadly fentanyl. And 80% of the fentanyl made in Canada is done so using ingredients that are not even regulated, but come right into our country where they're cooked into that poison, now threatening our trade relationship with the U.S. Will he reverse his radical liberal drug agenda to save lives and jobs?
So when Donald Trump talks about, hey, we got a fentanyl problem from the northern border too, he's not making it up. It's the next leader of Canada is going to take Trudeau's place, saying the exact same thing. Next PM, he's saying the same thing. He can say whatever he wants now. This stuff lives forever. This is a real issue. Showing you again that this guy, Donald Trump, President Trump, is about results. This just happened before we came on the air. Donald Trump, True Social. I just spoke with Mexican President Sheinbaum. It was a friendly conversation. She agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican troops on the border, separating Mexico and the United States, to stop the flow of drugs and illegal migrants. He agrees to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs. Do I have to read that again? Trump agrees to immediately pause the tariffs for a month, during which they will have negotiations with Rubio, Secretary of State, Besson from Treasury, and Howard Lutnick from Commerce, and high-level representatives in Mexico. He looks forward to participating in those negotiations with President Sheinbaum as we attempt to achieve a deal between our two countries. Mike Allen, Axios, and everyone out there trying to understand us red hat wearing lunatics. They're all fascist Nazis. 10,000 Mexican troops on the border to stop fentanyl traffic. That's been going on under the Biden administration for 4 years and before, but not to the degree it was under the Democrat administration we just got rid of. Where are your results on it? How come Biden couldn't do that? Trump's been in office how long, fellas? That's right, 2 weeks. Like a deuce, 400. 2 weeks, the deuce. 2 weeks. How come Biden couldn't do that? I understand a bunch of our kids are dying. You know, fentanyl kills you, you know. A little bit of fentanyl kills you. You know that, right? You get dead. I was going to wear the don't get dead shirts. Fentanyl gets you dead quick. And a lot of people around you. Why? Why do you get that done? Why? Tariffs are so bad. I told you what tariffs are. I told you exactly what they are. They are taxes. They can induce some economic dislocation. When you use them as a negotiating tool, he already paused the damn tariffs because he got what he wanted. Because he's a spreadsheet guy. If Trudeau, Poilievre, or anyone else in Canada does not give him what he wants and open up trade and do something about the Canadian border, then he's going to put on the tariffs. I don't know what to tell you. I love Canada. I've been there. It's a beautiful place. I'm just telling you, fix it, or he sees it as he's not mad at you. No, he is. No, he's not. I just spoke with President Sheinbaum. He knows. Put it up again. What's the next line? Read it. What's the next line, Justin, after I just spoke with President Sheinbaum? What does it say? No, it doesn't say that. Justin says it was a friendly conversation. Wait, Trump doesn't like us. Really? He just said it was friendly. He doesn't care. Do what he wants because it's best for both parties, and you know it. To Canada, I love our Canadian friends that listen to the show. We have a huge audience. I get your emails. You guys are wonderful. Wonderful. Your leaders are horrible. The taxing and tariffing of American dairy products and other things, the fentanyl trafficking, we need help. Let's not pretend that Canada and Mexico, we benefit from trade with Canada and Mexico, period, full stop, we do. But it's up to Canada and Mexico both to acknowledge you benefit significantly from the biggest superpower in the history of the universe being to the north and south of you, respectively. You don't have to spend 50% of your income defending from constant invasions because you have the benefit of the U.S. military just south and north. We're in NATO with Canada. They were one of the original 12 members. NATO, they don't have to, they've contributed greatly, but who's carrying most of the load? We are. Fair enough? Sorry about all the sound effects. I know it's horrible. I'm like 100%, but my lungs are still recovering a little. Perfect timing. Was that a hint? I got more on this coming up, by the way. Some moron left this absolute tool bag on Twitter, put up a video of me, not realizing I was going to make an ass out of this dope. He's like, I can't believe this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. The rich people don't pay any tax. They don't. Really? You have any actual data to back that up? What's that? No, never, ever. We've never actually mentioned who pays taxes on the show. All right, quick break. We'll get back to the show. Hey, I just got back from a holiday trip, and you know who saved me? I'm going to do my own read here, okay? All family, look at it, put that on the Chiron. All family pharma, no joke. 2 family trips, actually. I told you I was in Spain on a great vacation. I got super sick. Thankfully, called my doctor, had some symptoms of what was likely the flu, took the medication I already had, no joke, all family pharma. Folks, I was better in 2 days. I was fine. I just got sick again, coming back from the inauguration crud. You can hear me. I'm still kind of still getting over it a little bit. Thankfully, again, called my doctor. He said, I think you should take this. I looked at my All Family Pharma kit, already had it. Just called up All Family Pharma again. Paula's going to Colorado. Take my daughter on a little ski trip. I'm not going. I need to teach my daughter how to ski. She wants to learn. Her friends do it. So they're going to Colorado. I called up Teresa from Western One. I said, call All Family Pharma. I need another kit. They said, you got it. Here does it work? You want to get these life-saving medications, antibiotics, hydroxychloroquine, blood pressure meds, you name it, no hassle, no red tape. Once you qualify for a prescription, they deliver fast. 2 to 4 days, even overnight if it's urgent. Stock up now and be ready for just about anything. Go to allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. Don't wait. All Family Pharma makes it simple. You can customize your order, get a comprehensive package tailored to your needs. You don't need to see a doctor. They evaluate your request, provide the prescriptions that are right for you. It works for you, healthcare, not against you. Be proactive when it comes to your health. Here's what you have to do. Write this down. Go today. allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. Order online. Use code Bongino10 for 10% off your entire order. Again, do it today. allfamilypharma.com/Bongino. Code Bongino10 for 10% off. Check them out. You're going to love them. All Family Pharma and its products are not intended as a substitute for professional medical treatment or advice. Consult with your healthcare provider. Thanks for saving my butt twice. Our last sponsor today is LifeLock. During tax season, your sensitive info does a lot of traveling to places you can't control, stopping off at payroll, your accountant or a tax preparer, and countless other data centers on its way to the IRS. Any of them can expose you to identity theft because they all have the info in your W-2. Just a ticket for criminals to steal your identity. I had my identity stolen. It was horrible. I got LifeLock. I've been a customer ever since. I've never, ever had that problem again. No wonder the IRS reported tax fraud due to identity theft went up 20% last year. Get LifeLock today. Don't get your identity stolen. They monitor millions of data points per second and alert you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 million protection package. Restoration's guaranteed or your money back. Don't mess around with this stuff. I dealt with this for a long time before I had LifeLock. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Get LifeLock protection for tax season and beyond. Join now, save up to 40% for your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock, use promo code Bongino, or go to lifelock.com/Bongino for 40% off. Terms apply. Do it today. It was a mess when I had mine stolen. It took me about a year to clean that up. LifeLock, check them out. Thanks, LifeLock. Just a couple quick data points to this Stock Talk meme. Stock Talk Weekly. Mexico's exports to the U.S. as a percentage of GDP, 35% of their GDP are exports. Canada, 22%. U.S. exports to Canada, 1.5%. U.S. exports to Mexico, 1.2%. This tweet, the Stock Talk here weekly notes, America's in charge. Ladies and gentlemen, they are. They are. I don't want these tariffs. I'm clear, okay? I've been clear. I'm never going to change my mind. But if we need these tariffs as a negotiating tool to get to freer, fairer trade with our North and South American partners, which benefit greatly from our support and being geolocated in the exact same side of the globe and hemisphere as us, then we got to get it done, okay? We got to get it done. Now, there are morons out there. I rarely highlight these idiots, but these guys knew this morning right away because they speak Bongino and Paula, which is like you have to learn both. Believe me, you got to learn both languages, not just Dan Bongino. You better learn the other language too. That could break bad fast, okay? Justin's getting it down. So I said to him this morning, I go, hey, you have that imbecile? And he's like, I do. I didn't even have to say who it was. I said, make sure you put that here. So here is some dipshit on like TikTok or Twitter or whatever. I don't even know this guy's name. But apparently this guy believes that my take that tariffs, although can be economically dislocating, can be a valuable negotiating tool to get to a better, more fairer trade system. This guy seems to think that my take on it is crazy because rich people who don't pay income taxes will now have to pay tariffs. Rich people don't pay income taxes. How do you say on Twitter, I am a dumb mother, without saying it? You do a video like this. Check this out.
If Donald Trump can convince the Republican Congress to get rid of the income tax for a system of tariffs instead, ladies and gentlemen, the economy will absolutely explode like you have not seen since the Reagan years, maybe bigger.
I have a question. Why would the rich people that don't pay any income taxes pass legislation to get rid of income taxes in order to replace that with a new set of taxes, tariffs and sales taxes that would actually end up costing them more money? You see, they already don't pay income tax, so there's no benefit to them for getting rid of income tax, but they do pay taxes on all the things they buy, and rich people buy a lot of things. And if we tariff all those things, and if we increase sales taxes on all those things, that's going to negatively affect the rich people that you're asking to get rid of the income taxes that they don't even pay. Why would they get rid of something they don't pay and replace it for something that will cost them more money? They did not get rich by making stupid decisions like that. Thanks.
Is that even real? No, don't, come on, Justin. Stop putting actual fact. The irony, the reason I picked this is 1,000 websites that'll give you the actual IRS treasury data on who pays income taxes. I actually picked this site for a reason because it's called USA Facts. And if you notice the sourcing at the bottom, it's the IRS. Leave this up. To the absolute life loser dipshit whose parents must be so dumb they passed them the stupid genes that not only did you say this, but you said it publicly and put it on the internet advertising how freaking stupid you are. You could have looked this up in probably under 10 seconds by just putting in your favorite communist social media, whatchamacallit, the internet search engine thing, bullshit Google thing. Who pays the most income tax? You could have actually figured this out yourself. I know you don't want to because facts and data aren't exactly your liberal wheelhouse. I mean, to be a liberal, you have to be freaking stupid. But you'd find out that the top 1% of earners, what you would call the evil rich people, who you just said don't pay any taxes, pay 45.8% of income. 45.8? That sounds like a lot. I thought he said we pay none. None, zero. So you're telling me 1 out of every 100 people pays almost 50 cents of every income tax dollar? Yeah. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, he could have just, look at this dipshit. I mean, this guy even looks stupid.
Thanks.
Look at this one. Thanks. Thanks, bro. You moron. Can you imagine this dipshit actually filming that, putting it on video? Can someone ask him that? And by the way, his take is totally backwards. He doesn't even understand tariffs, consumption taxes. He has no idea what he's talking about. Why would rich people, let me do a simple math equation for you. If you make $10 million a year, showing you he has the argument totally backwards, by the way, $10 million a year, and you are not paying a tax on that income, but you are paying taxes on, say, $500,000 to $1 million of consumption. Say you're paying a 20% tax via tariffs or 25% or 25% to this dipshit out there. Basic math. What's a bigger number? 25% on $1 million or 25% on $10 million? Michael, you're a math major. Do you know what a bigger number would be? The bigger number would be the bigger the number. The abacus. Where's Jay's abacus? Folks, I can't take liberals. I can't. They are the dumbest people on planet Earth. Look at this guy.
Thanks.
Wait, one more time because everything's backwards on the screen.
Thanks.
Wait, one more.
Thanks.
What a moron. Stupid ass. Here's a Yossi Gessetner. This guy's pretty funny. Hey, look what happened to Canada's economic size per person under Trudeau. A few years before Trudeau, Canada's economy, or Canada, as Karine Jean-Pierre, Canada's economy was larger than the U.S. per person. It's been in the dumps ever since. And Trudeau's worried about Donald Trump. Maybe you should free up your economy and dump a lot of these tariffs on U.S. products and clean up the border situation. And maybe you wouldn't have this issue. For those of you who can't color coordinate leftists, the USA is the one on top. Oh, man, has this been a show today? That guy got me fired up. I usually don't advertise these morons, but this guy's so stupid. I just had to blow this guy up because I just can't take stupid people. What? Oh, I know. I can see it on your screen over there. Hold on. I need some blackout. I didn't even intend it to roll this way, folks, right? Because this was a floater. Dipshit imbecile guy was a floater, folks. It was not in the original rundown. So to put two dipshits back to back, I promise you, was not intentional. We actually have a dipshit quota because I don't want to make any of you really stupid. And I feel like by feeding you stupid stuff, you're going to need like Prevagen to prevent, you know, that like brain cell, you're going to need fish oil because your brain will degenerate. So I promise, dipshit alert right now. If you've already lost too many neurons, listen to that last moron. I'm going to warn you who's coming up next. Throw them in the chat, folks. Here it is. Wait. I'm warning you. Dipshit alert early. Special appearance today by me. The grand dame of all dipshits, one Frank Fugazi. Fugazi's up next. So I'm warning, we always are dumber after Fugazi. But this is an important segment. Ladies and gentlemen, long overdue FBI reform is coming. We are going to make the FBI great again. Because if we don't have an FBI breaking up counter-terror plots trying to kill us and they're worried about Moms for Liberty and pro-lifers, then we got a problem, folks. FBI reform is coming, whether they like it or not. Here's Fugazi on MSNBC, infamous 8-8 guy, a total moron, whining on MSNBC and inadvertently, by the way, exposing how arbitrary DEI stuff screws up the FBI. I want you to notice at the end, this is him whining about them ripping root and branch DEI out of the FBI. And he brings an example up at the end about having white guys into surveillance in a minority neighborhood, inadvertently exposing how bad DEI is by just randomly putting quotas out there. But because Fugazi's a moron, he doesn't even know he's making a case against himself. Check this out.
Any semblance of diversity and inclusion is literally being wiped off the map. The New York Times put out a photo today of the walls of Quantico, the FBI Academy, where they're painting over the FBI's core values to include integrity, adherence to the Constitution, and diversity. A less diverse FBI is a less effective FBI. Try doing surveillance on the street in the inner city with two white guys. Try working undercover in a Middle Eastern terror organization with a white guy. It doesn't work that way. So we're becoming less and less safe very quickly.
Understood. I mentioned that Kash Patel disclaimed, said he opposed.
Again, I'm sorry to put these two zeros back to back, but did you notice the example Fugazi gives that completely refutes his DEI argument? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are investigating, say, a West African crime ring specializing in fraud, yes, it would be very helpful for people with experience in West African fraud. Sometimes it emanates out of Nigeria, sometimes elsewhere. There's a lot of fraud cases that happen there. Yes, it would benefit you to have some expertise. That's an actual KSA, knowledge, skills, abilities. If you just say, hey, someone from that region may have darker pigmentation in their skin and melanin, so we should randomly hire more black agents for this. You're actually he's actually refuting his own case. He's refuting his own case. He doesn't even understand that because he's too stupid. Always, always measure the effectiveness of what we're doing. Oh, man, they're lighting this guy up in the chat. The chat is just on fire with this idiot. He is such a toolbox. Folks, do you get what I'm saying? Like the nuanced argument I'm trying to make that Fugazi doesn't understand because he's an idiot? Yes, if you are surveilling the Italian mob in the fish market in New York in the 80s, it would probably benefit you to find FBI agents who are maybe police officers or residents of that area and can fit in. But that's an actual knowledge, skill, and ability to blend in. It's not based randomly on you being Italian. Holy shit, is this guy stupid? Here's another one. Here's Deep State Andrew Weissman, a key figure in the spying scandal on Donald Trump, a key figure in the Bob Mueller investigation hoax, where they were investigating a hoax the entire time. Here he is freaking out about Donald Trump making a decision to get rid of a lot of FBI leaders who weaponized the entity and turned it into a really, really destructive force in American law enforcement. Check this out.
What are you hearing? What are we missing about this story that people should understand?
I'd say the main thing, in talking to you as a lawyer and the former FBI general counsel, I dealt with employment issues day in and day out at the FBI. Everything that you are hearing that from Ken, it's illegal. It is against the rules and the law it's against civil service rules. You cannot fire career FBI personnel without cause. It is simply not possible. And the idea that you have the acting deputy attorney general of the United States doing something that is against the rules, it's against the law, is the story.
I love how this absolute tool bag, this is 3 dipshits in a row, by the way, so I'm very sorry the dipshit meter's pegged. I love how this guy says you can't fire these FBI people without cause, as if there isn't a litany of actual causes. You know what? Hold the Washington Times headline. Let's go through this stuff, the House tradition. Let's just go through some causes so I can learn some of you people out there, liberals and my audience. Get ready. I'm going to learn you right now, okay? Did you guys miss all of this? Andy Weissman, House Judiciary, whistleblowers. The FBI's labeled dozens of investigations into parents with a threat tag created by the FBI's counterterrorism division? Andy Weissman may have there's cause for you. That's it? No, that's not it. I'm not done. Let's whip off a few more here. Heritage Foundation. FBI and DOJ twist federal law to arrest and charge a pro-life activist? Oh. You missed that, Andy? All right, that's it. No, it's not. Look. Where'd you guys come up with this? Like you sent them. I did. Justin says, your inbox? Just the news? January 6th shocker. Phone companies dispute FBI testimony on pipe bomb suspect. Key lawmaker reveals. I thought there was no cause. All right, it's definitely it. He says there's one more in the inbox. How did that happen? Newsweek exclusive. Donald Trump followers targeted by FBI as 2024 election nears. Oh, man. That Andy Weissman. I thought he said there's no cause for anything or something like that. What do I always tell you? Always measure the effectiveness of what you're doing by your opponent's response. If they're doing nothing and they're listless, folks, probably what we're doing is probably meaningless. When they freak out, we're probably doing something right. Washington Times. The acting director of the FBI refuses order to list FBI employees involved in J6 cases amid ouster of agency leaders. Kerry Pickett notes in the piece, FBI agents are said to be in a panic and a protest by employees, and former employees Monday at the Washington field office and headquarters are in the planning stages of a panic and a protest. So what are you protesting? What are you worried about? If you did nothing wrong and you were following your job, your actual job, your responsibilities, you're a GS as a government employee and investigator, what are you worried about? I don't understand. If you followed the rules and regulations, what are you worried about? That's right. Folks, I always told you to, people are policy. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is time for new people at the FBI. I say I'm sorry to tell you this because I wish we weren't in this position. I really do, folks. The FBI has done a lot of great things. However, the FBI has lost their way. It has been a long time now. It's not new. The FBI has lost their way, and it has filtered down into many stages of their management. The FBI has to get back to keeping America safe from its enemies, getting criminals and bad guys off the street, and interstate crime. It is not a hard mission. Now, I told you at the beginning of the show, and during the middle of the show, and during the last few years of shows, that lame duck Donald Trump is not an argument. It's a silly argument. They were always ridiculous arguments. I told you the best thing about second-term Donald Trump is that he'll never be a lame duck. Why? He has J.D. Vance, Don Jr., Eric, Laura. I mean, you could have this legacy go on forever with the Trump team. His political capital will never be zero. He's not a lame duck like Biden. What's he going to do? Have Hunter Biden run? Are they going to get a drug dealing operation running out of the White House or something like that? I mean, what was going to, what are they going to do? Find cocaine at the White House? I mean, they're already dealing with all of this nonsense. Biden didn't have a legacy. His political capital was zero. This is what I'm talking about. Here's Donald Trump on this aviation disaster this weekend that happened the past week in Reagan, which Secretary Duffy is dealing with and doing a great job. He is out there. He's been on the job less than a week. He's out there knocking it out of park. I got to tell you, for me, it's a little weird because I've known the secretary for a long time, and we've been personal friends with the family, and obviously Evita works here, but I've always known him to be a leader. I mean, a genuine leader. I don't mean like one of these bullshit leaders who pretends to be one and then flakes out on you. So to watch him take charge of this thing just a week in office has just been, I'm trying to keep my emotions out of it because I got to be fair to you too. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard because I love this guy and he's just knocking it out of the park. But getting back to Donald Trump, this is plain talk. This is no, believe me, no pun intended, but plain P-L-A-I-N. Plain talk from Donald Trump. You better get used to it. This is transactional Trump trying to just ask, he's not getting them. I know it's hard because this is a horrible situation. Everybody wants to get emotional. You're not going to solve the problem. This guy's transactional, and this is just how he thinks. Again, you better get used to it. Check this out.
I think that we have to make sure that this never happens again. Very, very little risk. And we're taking actions that this can't happen again. The helicopter, as you know, was out of its zone. Shouldn't have been out of its zone. It was at the same height as the airplane. Now, the airplane was coming down on its track. It was perfect. It was in perfect shape coming down, and something was in its way. You can't let that happen, and it won't be happening again. And this was all because of weak rules in the Biden administration, and we're just not going to let that kind of thing happen again. And again, I could wait, and I could, give a report in 2 years like they always do. And sometimes it's obvious. In this case, to me, it was very obvious. And I think I've been proven to be very correct. Yeah.
Again, I can't say it enough. You are constantly going to get your nuts kicked in by this guy. If you do not understand, he does not get emotional. It doesn't mean he doesn't care. It doesn't mean he's not passionate about things. He obviously is. He treats things as a spreadsheet. Why did this plane crash? The helicopter is at the same altitude. How the hell did that happen? I don't want this to happen again. I don't have time to get all emotional. I want to know what's going on. I could wait 2 years and issue a report. I choose not to. I want it fixed now. Get used to it, brothers and sisters, and especially lefties in the media, because this guy's going to continue to kick your ass if you don't understand. He is passionate, but not emotional. He is a transactional guy. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. Why were you at the same altitude? Give me an answer this week. I'm not waiting 2 years for a report. There's planes in the sky now. Right now. Tens of thousands around the world today. Man, what a show today. Whew. That was a banger. 162,000. Was that our high? 162? That's crazy. We've been tearing up. Thank you for making us last week for the first time in a while, by the way. Thank you, Bongino Army. I love you, man. I'd pound my chest, but my elbows don't work. So love you. And if I do, they'll accuse me of an Elon. So left-wing media people can kiss my ass anyway. For the first time in a while, we were the #1 live stream in the United States overall last week, all 5 days. So we were on the air. Usually 4, 3 out of 5. Rarely is it all week, every single day last week. So, and thank you at Live Search app on Twitter for tracking this every morning. We're results people. I'm very transactional. If the show's not #1, there is no #2. We lost. So #1 all week last week. Thank you so much. Join us every day if you want to be part of this growing Bongino Army. On rumble.com/Bongino at 11 a.m. It's free. Just put that in your browser. Or you can download the free Rumble app. Just go to your app store and watch the Dan Bongino Show every day. If you wouldn't mind, please give us a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Search for the Dan Bongino Show. Click that follow button. See you on the radio show here in Rumble in a few minutes. And back here tomorrow live at 11 a.m. See you then.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show.
Thanks.